Hello and welcome to Nerdy Thursday. Went to a show this week. My first actual, I've gone to a couple of, I guess, small video game sales places, but this was my first real con where it had invited people. It was in a big place, uh, but half of it, and the reason why I hesitated because I thought it was going to be this humongous gaming everywhere, and it wasn't. It was about half of it was gaming. It's probably about the same size as any other one I've gone to that were small outdoor events that were just games. Now they did have people selling things that were cool, but that's not what I was there for, and I had to stay focused. Uh, there was a couple of things that I saw that I could have spent money, but that wasn't what I was there for. Uh, I did pick up this stack. So I spent like 780, I think, total. So I made a trip around the floor. First thing is I have to find the bathrooms. That's what you do when you get old and use the bathroom. Made a walk around. I made a couple purchases on the trip back around. I stopped and I talked to this first guy. Some of y'all might have heard of him, John Riggs. Has a huge YouTube channel for gaming. Great content. He'll have a huge video for this up sometime in the near future. He was filming it as I walked out. I did pick up one of his games. It is Choo Choo Mimic for the NES. And I picked up one of his new games, Smell. And yeah, I just loved the cartridge. He's like, I got an open one if you want to smell it. And man, he sat there, talked to me, asked me questions, as well as, I talked to him about, his videos. How I actually, uh, I actually found him first and found Metal Jesus through him. I think that's how it went. I told him like late night. I used to work graveyard before I transferred here to Winston-Salem at the same company, different building, different location in Iowa, if y'all been around that long. And that was some of our videos that me and my buddy would watch at night, was him repairing, seeing if he could repair cartridges and, talking. Now he does the tier listings. I really enjoy that as well. Man, I don't know if there's a game he hasn't played. Yeah, so very, very knowledgeable. And then I did run into another huge YouTuber, RNG Gamer. Spent there. He was actually wearing the watch from his watch video. I told him that was special. That was a special video. If you haven't seen that, you need to go see that. He told me now he's doing a watch YouTube now separate. And if you watch me in my cards, he and some of the other people have been talking about why prices of the games have gone up and who's to blame and this, that, and the other. Very, very educational. Because I was like, I'm a card collector first, and it's like that everywhere. Everybody's finger pointing at everybody. It's very funny. But him and Mort's Garage, who I also love, that dude is very good. Hopefully I get to meet him in at Surge or Siege or whatever they call it. That's going to be, now that's supposed to be huge, so I'm hoping to do a little bit better there. But so I talked to him, and they're supposed to be doing a video, so I can't wait for that. On the same top, more on that topic. So great time talking to both of them. They didn't like try to get away from you or anything. I actually, cut my time with them because I felt like I was taking up too much of their time. Uh, John Riggs actually had a table, but I went around it 2 or 3 times, 4 times, because how the games are set up, it's really easy to miss stuff. And I was really there is 2 games and there are 3 actually that I'm looking for, and one is Wet for PS3. I have it for Xbox. More of that to come. Assassin's Creed, the original DS game, not Discovery. I have that one. I just need the other one, and I'll have all the games, uh, or a copy of not all of them, but a copy of each one. I don't have them for each system. I will be trying to do that too, because Assassin's Creed is one of those very cheap games. They were in a lot of $1 to $3 game boxes, $4 game boxes uh, today. And Comic Zone for Sega Genesis. Uh, did not, and I'll talk about it as I'm going here. So, didn't see any of them as I took a trip around, but I did see stuff that. Oh, and Dreamcast games. Period. Just I'm working on the whole North American. I'm more than halfway there. I have a couple of the big hitters. I need a few of the big hitters. I was looking for the big hitters because from everything I've been watching, you get better deals at shows. I did see a couple of things were priced well below comps on eBay or price charting. So I think stuff was priced very well, but man, was it hard to get them to come off of uh, any reason, for um, it was tough. A couple of dealers, because I bought multiple games, came down a little bit. But I bought these first 4, a little nostalgia. Again, like I said, I probably walked around there 4 or 5 times, and I just started looking for, well, not looking, just something to catch my eye. I wasn't just throwing my money away. Like I talked to RNG Gamer, I buy games that I want to play or I played, and stuff that I'm trying to get back. I sold my NES, like many people did, and just trying to get some stuff back. Punch Out Mike Tyson version. That one was priced. I knew it was priced a little bit because it's tougher to find. Man, this was a classic. Jordan versus Bird. I don't know who had an NES that didn't have that game. And I had this ice hockey game before I had Blades of Steel, and I love Blades of Steel as well, but I really like this ice hockey game. If you're not familiar with it, you have different size figures. It's actually a very fun game, even if you're not a sports fan, sports ball fan. It's a fun game. And then ones that I missed out, or I've talked about it before, where I'm trying to get as many baseball games that I can. I did not have this one as a kid, but I just thought it was cool. It's just a couple of dollars. Little League Championship Baseball. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I did pick up a baseball game today. And then these next 2 I bought from somebody. They took $10 off. I didn't get anything off of these. Tried, didn't work. You got every dollar that was, but wasn't bad. It was priced right. Most of them were very cheap, so thought it wasn't bad. I think it was $69. If I overpaid, somebody once told me a person that feels comfortable paying the price and is happy with what they get didn't overpay. So the next 2 I got from one dealer. They took $10 off. This one had a little at the top. The label is a little banged up, but this is a very popular game, Battletoads. So I got that, and that was all the NES games I picked up. and I picked up Resident Evil 2 for the Dreamcast. This one was so I got these two, and I mean he had two of these, one at 160 and one at 180. I asked them, why were they priced that way? Because the one that looked better was priced at 160, and the one that like had problems with it was at the how did I get this open before? Yeah, there we go. So, I I got it for the 160 price. And when I looked it up, they were going for closer to 200. So I felt good about that and pulled the trigger. Then I bought these three from one dealer. Got $10 off on that one. Didn't get $10 off on this one. I'm sorry, I misspoke. $10 off on this one. So I paid Battletoads and Resident Evil. And then Evolution in Gundam side story. So I one thing I did notice was like at the show, most of the stuff there was in awesome condition, very well taken care of stuff. I did hear a lot of, when I'll talk about it now, about halfway through, uh, you know, you would ask for something, or I didn't see a lot of Sega stuff. I was looking for I love Sega Genesis. That's my favorite cart, right? I talk about Xbox 360 and PS3 era as my favorite consoles, but Sega Genesis, I took that everywhere with me. That made moves. That made the 90s much more pleasurable. I didn't have a lot of money. Um, I played the hell out of it. I mean, me and my friends, my roommates would sometimes go in on stuff. Just simple games like Risk. I mean, we had a bunch of 20 something sitting around drinking, playing that and taking turns. Games on that were awesome. Uh, so I was looking for some of that stuff for once I always look for boxed Sega Genesis games. Man, it was tough. It was really tough. It was plenty of Risk, but I had Risk. I got Risk already. Uh, but I I don't just Sega in general. It was Sega Saturn. Just not a lot of Sega stuff. It was NES, Super NES, and N64 was everywhere. Saw quite a bit of GameCube, and I thought GameCube was the hot ticket a few years ago, but that was everywhere. Man, the disc game, PlayStation 2 was everywhere. PlayStation 2, a little bit of PlayStation 3, not a lot there. Xbox 360 was pretty good, heavy there. Um, and the regular PlayStation was not a lot there either. Uh, but it was like a lot of cheaper games. If people are talking about pricing, it was if you I feel like gaming is still a cheaper hobby. Yes, you got to buy the consoles, you got to play it on the TV, but man, once you get past that, for gaming, you could have went there with $100 and walked out with 10 games probably, very easily. 10 games that were good. Um, I might do that sometime. I was, it's either one way or the other. It was like $60 games. I got this for 60. Um, Lollipop Chainsaw, uh, great condition. Next Table Down had it for 100. Um, there were the only two copies I saw there. This was when I saw it. I was like, I have the reboot, whatever they're calling it, but I wanted the original, and I know I've been seeing this for 100, 140, 120. I know So I jumped on that. Looked really good. Um, yep. So happy to get that. And then the next three I got at one again. Now the guy took $10 off of this cash. A lot of people paying with cards. Uh, I was really surprised. A lot of people were taking cards, but here's the thing: you had to charge them tax or a fee because they have to pay straight up for that, and they're going to get taxed for that stuff because they're using a business card, a business thing. So that you're going to pay more. A guy was going to get taxed $25 on something, and he went to the ATM, and I don't understand. You have to go to these things with cash. I mean, you don't have to, but cash is king, man. Cash is king. The one guy bought the Resident Evil 2. He was shocked I had cash. I was like, people not have cash. He goes, when I stood there, I watched 3 sales with cards, and I know it's scary to walk around. I had $900 because it wouldn't give me, my bank wouldn't give me $1,000 through the ATM, so I had 900. And that's it. Yes, you keep your head on a swivel, but that's the way it is. I feel like, that's how it is there. I'm also 6'2", 350. So if you're going to come up, you better come with some power if you take that from me. But anyway, the next 3 games, Bullet Switch, and I love that they were all protected. Bullet Witch, I think, was 40? No, 50. Bullet Witch. I didn't look to see. The poster was not in there, so without the poster, so it's not CIB, but it's got the manual and the game, which that is the most important is the game. Clean copy of that, and I'll save the last. That one in the last one I'm going to show and talk about for a minute. And then I saw this after I got together, and I was like, "Oh, I have to have that game." Naughty Bear. If you've never played this or seen this, take 5 minutes just to watch some gameplay on YouTube. Sorry, I don't have my streaming set up, but to show some content. This bear is like it like Bad Santa. It's like Naughty Bear. Yeah, you go around in town and like beat up and bully, even murder other teddy bears. It's funny. The premise is funny. I think the game was a little grindy, but I don't know if the game is all that great. But the premise of it is great, and it's probably fun for about an hour, and then you just put it away. But man, it was in great shape, so I had to jump on that. The young boys were laughing that we're selling it. It was 2 20-somethings. But yeah, got that. And then, I was talking before, I was looking for Wet, PS3. I got it. So Alyssa Dushku is the voice of this character. I think very highly of this young lady. Well, she's not young anymore, but she's younger than me. I used to watch, Buffy, Dolls. What else was she? She had her own show for a while, but yeah, I even watched like one of the cheerleading movies because she was in it. Am I proud of that? Yes. But anyway, this had the manual, so it's an upgrade. I'll trade in the other one without manual just to get something else. I still looking for PS3. I rather have PS3 version. Couldn't find that. This was the only copy I saw on the floor. And again, this is why I walked around 4-5 times because I didn't see it originally. I went to every table and then I went back because a lot of these tables, they have them stacked like this in their cases, right? They're like this, or they're sitting like this in a box and you're flipping through it and you're shoulder to shoulder with people on either side of you to fast become your best friends. You're so close to each other. And I'm used to looking for things like that, well, for baseball cards, cards. But usually in cases, you can see everything, so it's really easy to find higher end stuff. Now, I don't know what is considered. This is my learning, and this is the journey I'm on. And I've always talked in collecting. The journey is the best part. It's like I don't know what is considered high end. I went to this show today, and I was thinking, man, I want to see some stuff, and there was nothing there that made me go, huh? Now that's some stuff. I saw. So I'm also looking for the 2K Dreamcast, which is black, uh, and I really would like that. I would like to have it in box, and I know it's going to pay to have it, but I have a white one, but I would really like the black one. And I was looking for some of the fishing rod and the gun. And I saw one controller. It wasn't much stuff like that there. It wasn't many. I'm also looking for a 3DS. That's not. I don't need a special one or boxed. Everything I found was boxed. I really do like the one that looks like the Super NES. I think it looks like that, but it was complete in box for $600. I was like, I don't need. I just want to play games on it. I don't need that. I'm not collect. I am. When it comes to gaming, this is the weird thing. You can, because I met a guy. So after I left there, I had money in my pocket still, and I was right around the corner basically from Limited Run Games retail store. So I went there. I go there every once in a while, especially when I'm in that area. And so I went and picked up a few games there. And the guy in there was coming from there too, and he was really disappointed because it wasn't really high end stuff there. And he was right, but it was enough of this type of stuff that affordable, which for me is great because I want to play these games. I'm not buying them to sit on the shelf and go, hey, look what I got. I collected this. And that's fine if that's what you do. I don't do that. I got Bullet Witch because I heard it was a good game. I wanted to play it on my Xbox 360. I've seen gameplay of this, and it's funny as shit. This game is actually pretty good, and I love the voice actress in it. This game is funny. It's corny. It's only about 4 hours long. But man, I wanted it back in the day, but I was too embarrassed, and I didn't have the money, to be honest. PS3 came out. Oh, yeah, I did. I just didn't buy it for whatever reason. And it wasn't out very long. I think it was at the end of the PS3 cycle because it kept getting pushed back. I remember it being at like several E3s, and it kept getting pushed back. And I thought it was a funny game, but then again, the way they were trying to sell it was with sex, and I was like, it just didn't feel right to buy it. But now I bought it today, and like I said, I probably won't even play this one. I have the limited run version, the Reboot game. I bought that a while back. And I will be showing in pickups what I got at Limited Run. I just wanted to show games, talk about, the show being my first real con. I was a little disappointed because some of the other YouTubers I really wanted to meet was supposed to be there. I never saw them unless they were upstairs in the one of the room. I don't know. They weren't walking around. They didn't have tables. I wasn't there to meet them, but it would have been nice. One of them was Radical Reggie, the Radical one. He's great on YouTube. I don't know him personally. Yeah, of course not. But it'd have been great to meet him. And but like some of the stars that were there are stars. Some of the voice actors and stuff, and then they had Rebbe Hardy or whatever her name is. I think it's Matt Hardy's wife. Um, she didn't look too good. I don't know what's going on with her, but she didn't she didn't look too good. And I'll just leave it at that. So um, that's all I got for you today. Let me know what games you like. Uh, you know, should I not spent the money? I feel like I believe me, I have plenty of games to play. The only games I kind of were the Nintendo games. I was kind of like, but it was they're very nostalgic to me. I pretty much got all the games that I'm missing, plus a couple that I really wanted, like Battletoads. Like I had Mario games. I never owned Mario games. I was not a Mario fan, but now I love side scrollers. Uh, I just was watching a video about green flags. That's my green flag. Side scrolling game. You got me. I love it. Um, I sit there and go, didn't know I liked them, but I used to love Pitfall. So I mean, but yeah, so that there you go. But enough babbling. That's my pickups. Happy with what I met. Um, okay show. C minus, D plus at best. Uh, they didn't have a lot. They didn't have like standing video games like I've seen at other cons, like like arcade style. That's what I would have really loved. That for me, setting up video games for me to play. For me personally, I can come home and play all of those or games. So I knew it was going to be some arts and crafts stuff. Some of it was very cool, and I had to make sure, hey, you're not here to pick up tchotchkes, so I'd be better off. And I did come home with money in my pocket, so that's always a win too. So until next time, like, share, tell a friend, subscribe if you haven't, and let me know if I'm being too harsh or too easy on this show. Until next time, see ya.